Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today we're going to be looking at some of the Christian fiction books coming out in August 2021. We are currently in a heat wave here in the UK, so I am recording this with the window open, so apologies if you can hear any outside noise. Once again, I have grouped the books together in their different genres, and I'm just going to read out the first paragraph to give you a taste of each book. In historical fiction, Yours is the Night by Amanda Dykes releases on the 3rd of August. Private Matthew Pettigrew arrives in France as part of the American Expeditionary Forces, an arrival which a war-weary France desperately hopes will help to end the turmoil. Having faced unthinkable things on the front, he is captivated by the sound of a lullaby, sung by a voice so pure he knows he must have imagined it. But rumours sweep through the trenches like wildfire, dubbing the voice the Angel of Argon, a mysterious presence who leaves behind wreaths on unmarked graves and footprints in the war-pocked soil. To Right or Wrong by Jen Turano is the second book in the Bleecker Street Inquiry Agency series, and it releases on the 3rd of August. Miss Daphne Beekman is a mystery writer by day, inquiry agent by night. Known for her ability to puzzle out plots, she happily works behind the scenes for the Bleecker Street Inquiry Agency, staying well away from danger. However, when Mr. Herman Henderson arrives on the doorstep of the agency, desperate for someone to investigate numerous attempts on his life, Daphne soon finds herself in the thick of a case she's determined to solve. Crossed Lines by Jennifer Delamere releases on the 3rd of August. Emma Sutton knows she should be satisfied with her position at London's Central Telegraph Office, but ever since she was orphaned young, she's longed for a family of her own. Things look up when a handsome engineer is thrown into her orbit and he sends Emma the love note of her dreams. Under the Bayou Moon by Valerie Fraser Luesse releases on the 3rd of August. Restless with the familiarity of her Alabama home, Ellie Fields accepts a teaching job in a tiny Louisiana town deep in Bayou country. Though rightfully suspicious of outsiders who have threatened both their language and their culture, most of the people in tiny Bernadette, Louisiana, come to appreciate the young and idealistic schoolteacher as a boon to the town. She's soon teaching just about everyone and coming up against opposition from both the school board and a politician with ulterior motives. The Gold in These Hills by Joanne Bischof releases on the 31st of August. Two second-chance love stories, hope across the centuries and the legacy that binds them together. Upon arriving at Kenworthy, California, mail-order bride Juniper Cohen was met by the pounding of the gold mine, the rowdiness of its prospectors, and her greatest surprise of all, the love of the kind man who awaited her. But when the mine proves empty of profit, and when Juniper's husband vanishes, doubt and discouragement are as prevalent as the pioneers fleeing this dwindling boomtown. A century later, trying to escape the heartache of his failed marriage, Johnny Sutherland throws himself into raising his child and restoring a 100-year-old abandoned farmhouse in California's mountains. Carved in Stone by Elizabeth Camden releases on the 31st of August. Gwen Kellerman is an heiress to the infamous Blackstone family, whose history of scandal nearly destroyed her. She now lives a quiet life at the idyllic college founded with her family's fortune, and hopes to keep the tragedies of her past safely behind her. Patrick O'Neill survived a hard-scrabble youth to become a lawyer for the downtrodden Irish immigrants in his community. He's proud of his work even though he struggles to afford his ramshackle law office. All that changes when he accepts a case to challenge the Blackstones' legacy of greed and corruption by resurrecting a 30-year-old mystery. Under the Texas Mistletoe by Karen Witemeyer releases on the 31st of August. In this 3-in-1 novella collection, Witemeyer presents the new story, A Texas Christmas Carol, where a town's wealthy Scrooge-like bachelor finds his world invaded by a woman set on earning his donation for helping the local poor. An Archer family Christmas. When the Archer clan gathers for the holiday, they encounter an unexpected request for help that will require all their effort and a Christmas miracle to see them through. And in previously published A Gift of the Heart, a widow uses the family brooch as collateral for a loan from the local resort owner, but the more she comes to know the man behind the stern businessman, the more she hopes for a second chance at love this Christmas. The Lines Between Us by Amy Lynn Green releases on the 31st of August. Since the attack on Pearl Harbor, Gordon Hooper and his buddy Jack Armitage have done work of national importance in the West as conscientious objectors, volunteering as smoke jumpers, parachuting into the fighting raging wildfires, but the number of winter blazes they're called to in early 1945 seems suspiciously high, and when an accident leaves Jack badly injured, Gordon realises the facts don't add up. A Warrior's Heart by Misty M. Bella releases on the 31st of August. Brielle Durand is a key defender and hunter for her people's peace-loving French settlement in the Canadian mountains. When a foreigner wanders too near to their secret homes, she has no choice but to disarm and capture him. She won't allow another massacre like the one that killed her mother a dozen years before, but now what to do with this man who looks at her in a strange way? In contemporary romance, Provenance by Carla Laureano releases on the 3rd of August. Los Angeles interior designer and former foster kid Kendall Green is in high demand, both for her impeccable eye and for her uncanny ability to uncover the provenance of any piece. But for all her success, skyrocketing costs have put her California home and her business in jeopardy. Then an unexpected inheritance provides a timely solution. A grandmother she never knew has left her a group of historic properties in a tiny Colorado town on the edge of ruin. Beyond the Tides by Liz Johnson releases on the 3rd of August. When Meg Whitaker's father decides to sell the family lobster fishing business to her high school nemesis, she sets out to prove she should inherit it instead. Though she's never had any interest in running the small fleet or even getting on a boat due to her persistent seasickness, she can't stand to see Oliver Ross take over, not when he ruined her dreams for a science scholarship and an Ivy League education 10 years ago. Love and the Silver Lining by Tammy L. Gray releases on the 3rd of August. Darcy Malone's dreams of mission work are dashed on her eve of fulfilling them. The Guatemalan school she was to teach at has closed. Devastated because she's already quit her job and given up her apartment, she also loses the perfect escape from the aftermath of her parents' divorce. Stuck in her worst-case scenario, Darcy takes an unexpected offer to move in with Bryson Katsaros' little sister, despite the years of distrust that's grown between her and Bryson, the lead singer in her best friend Cameron's band. As she meets those close to him, Darcy realises that Bryson is more than she believed. And finally, Faithful by Kim Cash Tate releases in a new paperback edition and audiobook on the 10th of August. This is a re-release. Sydney Sanders thought she knew God's plan for her life. She'd marry, have kids, and then snap her body back into shape with exercise. But she's celebrating her 40th birthday as the maid of honour at her little sister's wedding, and still single. Now her life is suddenly complicated by the best man. He's the opposite of what she wants in a husband, and yet he keeps defying her expectations. Starting with a lavender rose, symbolising enchantment. Each rose he sends her reflects his growing love for her. In Mystery and Suspense, Hostile Intent by Lynette Eason releases on the 3rd of August. Ava Jackson entered the military shortly after high school, but her mother's illness has forced her to request an early discharge. She already lost her father while deployed, and there's no way she's going to let her mother die alone. But after a visit to the nursing facility where her mother lives, Ava is attacked walking back to her car. Fortunately, FBI Special Agent Caden Denning arrives in time to help fight off her attacker. Night Watch by Susan Sleeman releases on the 20th of August. Everything points to suicide. Research scientist Kennedy Walker is shocked when her mother dies and the police rule her death a suicide. Her scientist mother was on the verge of a scientific breakthrough, and Kennedy knows her mother would never end her life, but the detective won't listen. Kennedy worked alongside her mother at the lab, and Kennedy commits to finishing her mother's work, but before long it's clear that her mother was killed to stop her from completing her project, and she must prove them wrong. And in fantasy and sci-fi, this is the last book I have, is Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey, and that releases on the 10th of August. What's lurking in the mist is the least of their worries. In a world where humanity lives in the sky to escape a deadly mist below, Cass's only goal is survival. That is, until she finds a job on the airship Daedalus as a diver. Now she explores ruined cities, looking for treasure and people's lost heirlooms, until a young man hires her to find the impossible, a way to eradicate the mist. So those were some of the books that I've been able to find in the Christian fiction category. If you have any other books that you're looking forward to, please do leave them in the comments below. Also, let me know if any of those books stand out to you as ones you might want to read in the future. I hope you're having a really great reading week. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented or shared my videos. I really appreciate that. Until next time, God bless. Bye. When Meg Whittaker's family... When Meg Wicked... When Meg Wicked...